find your flow, follow the map. Mile High Dreaming's got your back. Denver skies.
Is Director of Revenue Operations for Rebuy. She leads the entire RevOps org, including Salesforce and all integrations. She's been in the ecosystem for 8 years and is 8 times certified. So, can everybody put their hands together for Nicole Looker?
All right, good morning, everybody. I'll wait for the deck to slide on. All right, there we are. Good morning, and thank you all for joining me this morning, day 2 of Mile High Dream, and hope everybody's having an awesome time so far. This morning, I'll be talking about how solo admins can run their orgs with enterprise efficiency on a freemium budget. So first off, thank you to all of our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here today, so we really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And as mentioned, my name is Nicole. I lead all of RevOps, ADEX certified, triple star ranger. And also, even though I'm not right now, I have spent many years of my career as a solo Salesforce admin. With that in mind, in this session, I'll be sharing some free strategies and tools that can really help solo admins achieve the enterprise results that we're all hoping for. We'll be talking through challenges that solo admins face, how prioritization can be your admin superpower. We'll go through 6 of my favorite tools that are free that you can do and have to have maximum impact. And then we'll have time for a summary and some questions as well. So first, common challenges. We know that being a solo admin is not easy at all. How many of you are or have been a solo admin? Lots, yeah. And it is tough. We're often managing knowledge gaps, learning curves, time management, prioritizing everything. We have really limited time for testing and QA. We're also expected to do process docs and knowledge transfers and keep up with all the platform changes from Salesforce and all the tools that are integrated. A lot of times we're solving problems on our own. Thankfully, the Trailblazer community has made that a lot easier these days. Managing integrations and vendors, change management, training, enablement, and all of that can lead to stress and burnout really quickly if we're not careful. But on the flip side, we also have a lot of awesome superpowers. We have complete system visibility over everything, Salesforce and everything that is integrated. We can make decisions fast and implement things really quickly. We have a holistic business understanding because we see things from end to end. We know our stakeholders and their needs. We work with our vendors really closely. We can be really creative when solving problems. And we know how to be lean and efficient, even though it can be stressful. But there's one superpower that if I had to put them above the rest, it would be prioritization. Prioritization is my #1 hack and free thing that if you can do well, you will definitely be successful. And this is why. This is a sample priority list on Monday morning. If I was a solo admin and used paper and pen, looks great. I planned it out, talked with my manager, we're good. All of these seem realistic. Low-hanging fruit, some bigger things, some meetings, good to go. But then, because we support so many teams, we don't just support sales or marketing or finance, by Wednesday, this is our life. So now we're crying, just like, and my notepad looks a mess. I have things in the margins, things are crossed out now, things are circled, there's questions, there's new priorities, but I have no idea what is actually a priority now because my list is chaotic. So I came up with these 6 keys to become a prioritization ninja, as I say, and these are what I have followed as a solo admin, and now that I'm not a solo admin anymore, I'm training my team to do the same things. So we'll go through each of these in a little bit more detail, but first, organization. Number 2, relationship building. Number 3, transparency and visibility. Number 4, managing expectations. Number 5, execution. And number 6, what the previous 5 keys culminate into, is trust. So first, organization is critical. Paper and pen, as we saw in my example, is not your friend at all. So instead, what I do is anytime that I've taken over a Salesforce org, make a queue or ticketing system, we'll go into some free options for how that can be managed. Designated Slack or Teams channels for questions and updates for your stakeholders. So I have a channel for just Salesforce and tools integrated with Salesforce, and I have a channel for ticketing and queue request items. Creating a designated documentation and resource library, keeping all of your docs for yourself and for your stakeholders in one spot is very critical. I think oftentimes documentation sometimes gets lost, especially as solo admins, but getting in the practice of doing that right away will only set you up for success. We use Google Docs to collaborate on the fly. They're easy to share and collaborate in real time. I also have a private team channel to collaborate with my manager and my key stakeholders. That way they can see at all times what we are prioritizing and what I'm working on. And then creating a nice project planning system that is repeatable will help you to stay organized as well. Number 2, relationship building. So from day one, meet with your stakeholders. I like to say this is leading with empathy. You're really trying to listen to them and understand what their needs and what their wants are, and you're going to show them that you care and know that there's a lot going on, but you understand that the things they're requesting from you will only help them be better. Continue communicating with them throughout their preferred channels. I have some stakeholders who really like Slack. I have some who want one-on-one huddles and will just call me out of the blue. But whatever they like to receive information is the best way to go about it. And then have fun with them too. Chat about their interests, their family, their weekends, because getting to know them only adds a personal touch. Next up, transparency and visibility. Keeping everything open is the best way to really establish trust amongst everybody. I don't know how many people in here have experienced this, but sometimes your stakeholders don't realize that you don't just work for them. So by keeping it open and they see, okay, well, Nicole's working on this for partnerships and this for marketing and this for sales, and they are gonna drive revenue, so my item for a new pick list value may not be top priority, and I get it. So they can see that my request queues are open. They can see at any given time what I'm working on. I give them regular updates. In team meetings, we share the bigger picture of what I'm working on, and then continuing to use ticket comments, Slacks, and Teams for communication will only open up the transparency further. Managing expectations kind of goes back to transparency and visibility as well, but expectation setting just really opens up the door for you to get more done and be more efficient. I like to make sure that I'm constantly collaborating with my stakeholders and ask them how they would rank their requests. So they may have 15 things in the queue, but let's talk about what the top 3 things are that if we did it right now would actually drive the business forward. And then from there, we set some clear deadlines, and I always get buy-in from my leader as well, so that way if there are any issues, the teams can go to him to talk further. Number 5, execution. Executing at its finest means you're delivering impactful results. And this is all about getting things done on time and in a qualitative fashion. And in addition, you're not just building it and shipping it, you're also providing the enablement and documentation and resources that the teams need to do it and use it and actually adopt what you're building. We all, I'm sure in here too, know that sometimes you build something and adoption is pretty low. But making sure that you're doing the enablement and resources for them will really help. And the last piece of this is I always like to record how what I'm building and doing is benefiting the stakeholders. So what are they gonna get out of it, and how is it gonna drive the needle forward? And then number 6, trust is the culmination of the previous five keys. So building trust is really how you'll ultimately be successful as a solo admin. Your stakeholders will trust you as the SME. They'll know that you know all the processes and you're really great at Salesforce and systems. They'll know that what you're working on at any given time is going to help them and move the business forward. And again, then they'll also see that you're supporting all the teams so that they will know that what you're working on is gonna help the business. So being a prioritization ninja is the best free way, always free, to operate at enterprise level, especially as a solo admin. All right, so that was my great strategy. I love it, I use it every day, but there are also tools out there that are free that can help you drive the impact forward even more. And why should solo admins look at freemium tools? So they're easy ways to start with small wins and the low-hanging fruits. There's a lot of things out there that we can do on our own without much direction, and these tools can really help set up to do that. Sometimes you have a lot of budget constraints on a small team or a lot of red tape if you do work for an enterprise org. It can help solve the organization and prioritization issues really quickly. It gives the visibility and transparency into your work. It can help you streamline deliverables where you do have to make process docs or enablement materials as well, and all of that can give you back time to focus on the bigger projects. My solo Salesforce admin toolkit includes 2 different areas that we'll be walking through. So first is project and process management. And then the second part is what I like to call my Salesforce admin assistants. All right, so project management, ticket queue, and end user enablement. So all of these are tools that I have used, still use, recommend to anybody that I'm coaching, and they are Notion, Trello, and Loom, and we'll go into all 3 of these with some examples as well. First up, Notion. So Notion helps to build your internal process doc library or wiki for your Salesforce team and end users. You can create project management trackers to keep track of the larger projects and their pieces. I use it also to create daily trackers to keep organized with my priorities for the day as well. I might start out with 3 things on that and end up with 20, but at least I have a document so I can move it around accordingly. And then it allows you to share pages with internal stakeholders, team members, and other end users as well. Notion, actually, their free plan is awesome, and it includes so many great features, including unlimited personal pages in blocks. So you can really create a comprehensive documentation library here without worrying about page limits or storage constraints, which is nice. It gives you the opportunity to use rich text and formatting. So your docs will look really nice. There's nice list views and headers and code blocks and callouts as well. It also functions as a database, so you can have things where you can filter and search quickly for resources thanks to this functionality. As I mentioned, the code blocks, I love this in Notion because when you are writing SQL queries or validation rules or crazy formula fields, you can have it in a really nice code block format to read through it. There's a lot of great collaboration features as well, so you can share specific pages with different stakeholders. And then also it has a version history, so you can track changes and who's making the changes and revert back if needed as well. And then here's a couple strategies that I recommend for using Notion. First, build out a documentation structure. So I do have a mock-up of this, which we'll look through, but there is a section for admin processes that have things only for Salesforce admins, business processes, technical docs, troubleshooting guides, and training materials for your end users. You can use call-out blocks to highlight important warnings or prereqs, create quick reference pages and on the pages so that you can easily flow through all the different documentation. And there is awesome flowchart functionality, so you can build visual representations of all of your processes. So here's Notion's website and a QR code to access Notion, but I'm gonna click in, we'll back out, and I made a mock-up of what the free version could look like. So this is using all of Notion's free features that they have, and as you can see, it's very nicely organized here. On the left-hand side, we have all the different documentation parts, work management pieces, and a knowledge base. And then in the middle, you can put what your week's focus is, quick links to important items, your current big projects that you're working on, notes and reminders, quick actions, etc. So pretty comprehensive for a free tool and gives you a lot of great functionalities. Highly recommend checking Notion out. All right, back in slides. All right, and then next up is Trello. So Trello is a free way to create a customized ticket management queue. I'm sure folks in here have used Salesforce cases to do this, and I have too. But over the time, what has happened is I'm supporting stakeholders who don't work in Salesforce and don't have a login. Especially at small companies, they may not want to pay for a Salesforce license just for someone to log in and request something. So I decided to, moving forward, build my request queues outside of Salesforce, so that way all my stakeholders had the opportunity to request stuff from us. And having a case queue is a great way to be organized right away. It's something that when you enter an org, if it doesn't exist, it's very impressive to your stakeholders, and it just opens up ongoing transparency and visibility. Trello's features for free are also awesome. Unlimited personal boards, 10 team boards per workspace is the main limitation, but since you're just building it for you and your team, that's not an issue. It's great because you can have unlimited workspace members and guest access, so there's no restrictions on how many people that you can invite to it. Full card functionality for descriptions, checklists, due dates, labels, comments, and more. You're also able to have it on your mobile app, which is great. And there is the email to board ticket creation process that is also included as well. Real-time collaboration, which is great. You can mention folks directly in the board on the cards. And then there's also an activity feed that shows all the card actions as well. So here is the QR code for Trello, and we'll pop over back into our mock-up of what that could look like. And here's like really nice view of what your Trello board could look like with custom columns, tags, organization, etc. I think this is really great and an easy way just to get things built up and help to prioritize as well. And then the third tool in the process management piece is Loom. Loom, I use this pretty much every day still because I can create end user enablement fast for all of the releases, enhancements, and new processes that I am building for my stakeholders. I also use it to communicate with my stakeholders as well if they have questions about something in Salesforce instead of typing out a long Slack message, which has been really great to get things solved relatively quickly. Loom's free plan is also awesome. It pretty much has all the features that you need to get started. Screen recording, auto recording, Chrome extensions, a desktop app, mobile app recording functionalities as well. There is a 25 video limit on the free plan, so I do choose to use it mostly for my enablement materials that we're gonna stick around for a long time. Or if we make updates to something that we roll out, I'll delete that one and make a new one, just to make sure that I'm staying within that limit. Also easy to share with everybody. You have links to share right away. You can password protect items if there's anything sensitive. You can see who watched and when, which is really nice as well to make sure your stakeholders are actually watching the enablement that you roll out. And then as far as storage goes, all the videos are stored on Loom's cloud, so no local storage is needed for this either. And then here's how to access Loom, and we'll go through. I made a quick little video of just something that I would do normally. So here, you can see on the side it transcribes as well. But I'm just going through an account page with new fields that I put on the page and explaining why we put these fields, how they're populated, where you can find them, what the point of them is, just to give everybody a heads up that this new section exists. All right. And now we'll go to my favorite admin assistants. So these three I use every single day. And I'm sure like Claude and ChatGPT, like everybody probably uses it as well, but I have some cool tips and tricks for that as well. But they are Sweep, Coefficient, and then Claude or Chat GPT. So first up is Sweep. Sweep is my favorite Salesforce tool that exists. They are here, but they have an awesome freemium set that is just so great, that has saved so much time for me as a solo admin. Sweep connects directly to your Salesforce production or your sandbox metadata, and therefore it fully understands how your org works in the backend. Sweep helps Salesforce admins understand all the dependencies and configurations in your org, which helps me to make changes faster, troubleshoot issues, and now my Salesforce is documented, so I don't have to actually go in and spend days and weeks documenting it myself, which is great. It's really helpful for impact analysis as well, because now I know what's going to break before I make changes to any of my fields or my workflows. So Sweep's free admin tools that you can have access to right now is one, Salesforce process visualization. So they create a visual representation of all your business processes to help identify areas of opportunity, and so that you can understand all of your business flows faster. The AI-powered documentation, I will be demoing this because it is literally the best thing as a Salesforce admin ever. It documents every change that you make or someone else makes automatically, and you'll be able to see everything that's been built in less than 60 seconds. And I'll talk through an actual live use case with this one and what all of that means in a few minutes. The important thing to note is on the free plan of theirs, it's for standard objects only, so it does not apply to custom. There's also a nice comprehensive change feed, which I know previously in previous orgs, we've used Google Sheets or somewhere else to document all the changes that we're making in our Salesforce org. Gone are the days of manually having to remember to log that I added a pick list value to a field, because Sweep does it for me, which is awesome. And then now I can go back and see if my team are making changes, or if something breaks, I can go back in time to see when that was last changed and easily see it. They also include roll-up fields as an option in their free plan, which is so great. Salesforce's standard roll-up fields are pretty limited, and this allows you to get kind of creative with building those roll-up fields. We do things like grabbing the last activity date for our BDR team, or the last call date that an AE has taken, to be able to do better activity metric reporting, which has been really great for our leadership team. And then the last piece is you can see field utilization and field dependencies instantly. I've also inherited Salesforce orgs from leaders who have just created 1,000 fields for one-off things. And now I can see if that field's being used anymore or why it was built, and get rid of it to avoid those field uses restrictions that are across some standard objects. All right, so here's how to access Sweep, if anyone wants to take a peek at that. And we're going to go into a live environment of Sweep to check it out. So this is the process documentation that is available. Please note that this is a test in environment, so there are things on this page that are not included with the free plan just due to the testing area. What happened to me is we integrated Data Cloud in our Salesforce org, and we connected Data Cloud to Google BigQuery to pull in data. We did a bunch of transformations, built some calculated insights, did some different things, and then we took all that data and pushed it back out into Sales Cloud, which is great, awesome process. But with that process tied to it was some automation that we built when the data comes out of Data Cloud to kick off billing and opportunity processes, which is also great because now all that's automated, our teams don't have to worry about it. But something that was built in Data Cloud with the flow was closing already closed-won opportunities to today's date. So things closed in January 1, 2025 are now being closed today, August 28, 2025, which is bad. So all of our closed-won revenue was being attributed to the wrong quarter. No one knew why. We were freaking out. And as it turns out, I was about to demo with Sweep, and I was like, hey, I cannot demo with you. Thousands of our opportunities are being changed. I have no idea why. This is awful. And the AE, he was like, we can solve that right now. You don't even have to sign up for it. I'm like, okay, well, let me see if this is true. Like, okay. So what he did is he went into documentation, and he went to, oh, I'll go over here. And then he went to our opportunity object. And then he found our close date field. And he clicked on into it. And right away, we can see, okay, close date, 100% used. Here's everything that this field is used in. But why don't we ask it if it can like tell us, right? So to save a couple minutes, I pulled it up already, but I said, what flows update the field close date to today's date? And after just like a minute or two, it pulled back these two flows that are updating the close date field to today's date. I was like, great, that's fantastic, because now I don't have to go to the where is this used and look through all my 45 flows to see which one it is. But then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to like click into each element. Like I know some of these flows are gigantic. So I said, hey, well, what elements in these flows are updating the close date to today's date? And then poof. It shows me the exact element in my flow and why it's being updated. And I did all of this in like seriously like 5 minutes, where normally this would take like, I don't know, days maybe, hours. Like it can get very convoluted and stressful really quickly. And this is like, I was able to go in and be like, all right, well now I know it's this flow right here, and I changed the logic in this element to make sure that it wasn't doing that anymore. This is such an awesome feature. I use it now when people ask me why things are breaking, or what does this field mean, or how is it used, to figure out all these kinds of questions. Definitely check it out. This is completely free to get started with as well. All right. Number 2, coefficient. So coefficient, what it does is it connects directly to your Salesforce data and allows you to share that data into external sources. So this has been valuable for me because I have a CEO who will not log into Salesforce. He's just like, meh. He has his own login, but just doesn't want to. So even though I can pull some of these reports and build them in a nice Salesforce dashboard for him, he just doesn't want to. Like he would rather just open a Google Sheet, see his information, and move on. And kind of going back to building relationships with your stakeholders, that's his preferred way to receive information. So that's what we do. So I pull reports and put them into Google Sheets, and then we can visualize them and share them to our stakeholders as needed. So Coefficient's free plan is also pretty great as well. You can connect up to 3 data sources like Salesforce or HubSpot, for example. Then you can grab the data from those reports as needed, but only up to 5,000 rows with the free plan can be returned. So just be cognizant about that when you're building in the filters and everything. You can then send Slack and email alerts to your stakeholders as needed. And there are also, they added 10,000 API calls to OpenAI that you can do things in Coefficient with, like clean lists, create formulas, create charts and pivots, and more. So this is for Coefficient, their website, excuse me. A little bit more about their AI features. And then we will go into an example report. So this is, just open up the connector. But our CEO, he has his eyes on a couple top opportunities that he wants to know what's their status, what stage that they're in, and what's going on. So I just pulled in a simple opportunity report, and even though we can pull this in Salesforce, again, he doesn't like to log into Salesforce. So using Coefficient, you can grab it and pull it in right away, and this is available with any Salesforce reports that you create. Alrighty. And then lastly, Claude or ChatGPT. I'm a fan of Claude, so I'll be referring to Claude here. but ChatGPT is interchangeable as we're talking. So if you are not using the free plan here, you are missing out. This has unlocked so many new levels of efficiency for all Salesforce admins in business and daily use. And they just allow us to act so much faster, more efficiently, and operate more than ever before. So things that I do with Claude on the daily, creating complex formula fields, and in seconds, no longer do I have to spend 20 minutes typing out a very long formula. I can just tell Claude what I want it to do, and it pulls it back for me, and I'm on my way so much faster. It allows you to learn and build complicated flows so much faster as well. When I started out as a solo admin, I got inherited an org by a VP of sales, and it was my very first time ever taking over a Salesforce org. I never had even built a field before, and he was like, here you go, this is yours now. So back then, I would have to go in the Trailblazer community and type in what I'm trying to do, and refresh, and try to wait for somebody to see that I'm like struggling. But now I can just go in a Claude and ask it, which is great. You can research best practices for process improvements and see what other people are doing in the space. So no longer do you have to reinvent the wheel. You can research very quickly. I'm sure people in here too have received long flow error emails when you're like, well, what the heck is this thing saying, with pages and pages of random code or things in there. Now we can just copy and paste them into Claude, ask it what it's doing, and then I can ask it how to fix it, which is really great. So that's also solved a lot of issues for me as well. You can create documentation for end users. Some of the artifacts that I made for today's presentation, I use Claude to help me make them, which is really great. And so much more that we're probably not even thinking about yet. So some strategies to using the free plan. I think this is really important to take into consideration because you do have limited messages that you can do on the free plan of these tools. So therefore, because of the limitations, make each question that you ask count. So batch multiple questions together. Ask about everything that you can think of related to that one topic in one message. Be specific and detailed in your request to get comprehensive answers, and ask for examples or alternatives in the same messages rather than going back and forth on it. Offline, gather all the details or error messages before you ask Claude for it. So for example, if I'm wanting it to build a formula, I should grab the API names of the fields that I'm trying to use for the formula and tell Claude that I'm trying to use these fields to do it, so that way I don't have to go back and copy and paste it and waste messages trying to do that. Prepare comprehensive background info to get the most targeted help. And then save all the responses that Claude is giving you in your Notion knowledge base for future reference. You don't have to go back and keep asking the same questions over and over again. The key with the free plan is treating each interaction as a substantial consultation rather than going back and forth in a conversation. And then here is how to access Claude, ChatGPT, and then I made an awesome artifact for Salesforce admins. So I said, hey, what are the top formula fields that I should reference and that all admins should know? And it returned a reference guide of all these formulas that I can now save in my knowledge guide. So that way I know how to do these different things when I'm building formula fields or making formulas and flows as well. And this I can easily take out and copy and paste and put it back into my documentation library as well. All right. So in summary, solo admins, we have superpowers, so many of them, even though it's hard. Prioritize effectively to unlock even more efficiencies. Follow the 6 keys of prioritizing that I mentioned to be a prioritization ninja. Use freemium tools wherever you can for those low-hanging fruits. Freemium tooling ranges from project management to Salesforce assistance. And use the strategies to interact with AI and sign up for your AI accounts ASAP to act fast and more efficient than ever. All right, and thank you. Are there any questions?
Do you have any concern with connecting AI up to a production instance? I heard that immediately, and that kind of raised my red flag, especially in terms of data security, personal information, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I don't have it connected, like my production org's connected directly to ChatGPT or Claude through these like free items. I tend to just leave it very vague, like when I'm asking it for things, but we never put any other like production data in the free versions of it.
So when you said you're connected, you don't actually have a way to connect AI to your instance. You're just asking questions of.
Correct. Yeah. So for these freemium tools, yes, there are paid versions that you can that do have the proper security protocols on it. But that obviously that involves like more research and getting your legal team and your leadership team involved to make sure that you're following the proper guidelines. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your time this morning. Cool.